step is I'm going to take this purple cabbage and I'm going to boil it to make purple cabbage juice to serve as an indicator for acids and bases. I'm just going to start cutting the cabbage into smaller pieces to make it easier to boil it. The stove is on and there's water in the pot, and I'm just going to put the cabbage into the pot to start boiling it. I just finished straining the cabbage and boiling the cabbage juice, and as you can see it's still steaming a little bit from when it was being boiled. So now I have the juice for the experiment, so let's get started. So we're going to start off the experiment with using my first base, which I chose as baking soda. And I'm just going to mix some cabbage juice in a bowl. And then I'm also going to mix some of my baking soda with the cabbage juice. And I'm going to mix them by stirring them together with my spoon. And as you can see, it's changed into a darkish green color when mixed together. It's the base that I just made, and I can tell that it is a base because it has turned a greenish color, a really dark green color, and originally the indicator was purple. Tell that solution that I just made was a base because it turned a greenish color and it also had a high pH level, which indicates the presence of a base was made. Okay, so for the second test for the base, I'm going to use Clorox, which is the same thing as bleach. So again, the same thing as last time, I'm going to add about 2 spoonfuls of each. 2 spoonfuls of the indicator and then a little bit of the bleach. And as you can see, immediately when they mix together, it turned a very light yellow color, almost clear, but again it is slightly yellow. So again, this indicates the presence of a base is made because of the fact that it turned yellow from the original purple. Okay, and the solution, the yellow solution that I just made, indicates a base also because it has a high pH level of about 12. And anything that I make that it turns either a greenish or yellowish color, that indicates a base. Now I'm going to use my third example of a base, which I chose to be Lemon Fresh detergent, which is basically dishwashing soap in simpler words. So I am just going to, again, put just a little bit of each, a little bit of the indicator and a little bit of the dishwashing soap. Okay, and I'm going to then mix them together. And you can see as I'm mixing it, it's almost turning a yellowish purple color. It almost looks like the color of a sunset, if you can see that. It almost has like the color of like a caramel almost. And again, this shows that it's a base because again, the indicator was purple to start with and now it has changed to this yellow color with it. Indicator of the purple cabbage, the substance that I just made turned a yellowish greenish color, which according with using this indicator is the definition of a base. This is now my last example of using a base, and for this I chose glass cleaner. So I am just going to, again, mix that with the original cabbage indicator. Then I'm just going to spritz some of the cleaner inside. And you can see immediately as it interacts with each other, it turns a also like a darkish green color, and it also has kind of like this bubbly texture to it, foamy texture to it, and that might have just been because I squirted it out of the bottle. So again, there's two ways I know that this is a base. One is that it did change color from the original purple, and the other is that bases can include cleaning supplies, and glass cleaner is a cleaning supply. So using this indicator again, the substance that I have just created is a base because it was a bluish green color, and that has a pH level of about 10. Now that the bases are done, I'm going to now start with my acids. So again, for the acids, I'm just going to use the same purple cabbage indicator that I used for my bases. And it only requires a few spoonfuls of each. And for my first acid that I'm going to use white distilled vinegar as one of the examples of an acid. And when mixed together, this creates a very light red, almost like a pinkish red color when mixed together. And I can tell that this just made an acid because of the fact that using this particular indicator, reddish is, or the color of red is an indicator of an acid, and it has a pH level of about 2. This is now my second example of an acid that I will be making, again using the same exact indicator. And for this example, I'm going to use a few drops of Coca-Cola mixed with my purple cabbage indicator. So, this is also created almost like a darkish red brown substance. I'm not sure if the camera is picking this up, but it has turned a darkish red. And this again indicates an acid because it would have a pH level of about 4, which indicates the appearance of an acid. This is now my third example of using an acid. And for this, I'm going to use orange juice because usually fruit is very acidic, and oranges are fruit, so it should be pretty acidic. Again, using the same purple cabbage indicator as I have been the whole time. And I'm going to put a little bit of the orange juice with that indicator. Now as you can see, this made almost like a pink lemonade color. It's a very light pink. And again, this would indicate an acid because it would have a pH level of about 2 because it is slightly reddish, but it still has a lot of pink in it as well. So yeah, this is now my last experiment for this video. And for this one, I'm going to use blueberries because they're also fruits, which should be also pretty acidic. So again, I'm just going to use, again, the same purple cabbage indicator that I've been using throughout the video. And I'm going to take a blueberry and just kind of put it in the indicator the juice didn't really come out of it. So I'm just gonna put it in the indicator, maybe put 2 of them in there in case one is juicier. And it wasn't. So I'm going to mix these mashed blueberries with my indicator. And maybe try to mash them with the spoon as well to try to get any juice out of it to mix with the indicator. Okay, so you can tell that there is the remains of my blueberries in here, but if you take that out, you can see that the solution is now a light purple / red color. It's a purplish red color. And that is an example of an acid because it has a pH level of about 4, which indicates the presence of an acid in this particular solution. So these are all the acids that I used, and these are all the bases that I used for my experiment. And what I learned from this experiment is that red cabbage contains a pigment molecule called flavin. And this water-soluble pigment is also found in apple skin, plums, poppies, cornflowers, and grapes. Very acidic solutions will turn a red color. Neutral solutions result in a purplish color. And basic solutions appear in greenish yellow. Therefore, it is possible to determine the pH of a solution based on the color it turns, the pigments in the red cabbage juice. So I hope this video was very helpful for you.